Okay, good morning, friends. We are live here with Sip with Stacy. And hey, good morning, friends. Let's get the echo off. Okay, we'll restart one more time. We are here this morning with Sip with Stacy, and I've got two special guests here with me today. And the idea behind this leadership live stream is to take a deep dip into leadership, but more specifically, how leaders are living the council's mission, vision, and values. And I couldn't think of two other leaders that are really living the mission, vision, and values. But what we get to do today is really shine a light on the relationship and how these two are communicating together, working together, and really passing the baton in their network, respectively. So without further ado, I do want to make note Claudia Gayton, the state president for Texas. She was supposed to be our guest today, and her mama is sick in the hospital. So I want to send out our love and prayers for a speedy and quick recovery, and to Claudia and her family. So thank you very much, audience, for understanding Claudia's position, but thank these girls for stepping in and being guests today on Sip with Stacy. And also, this month is Women's History Month. And we have so many trailblazers within our industry that have done such wonderful things. And I do want to just read some stats, because this is fascinating. Did you know that 68% of realtors are women? Of course we are, right? 56% are licensed brokers, 66% are sales agents, 63 are full-timers, and 69 are part-time agents. And so women started with the help of Women's Council, because NAR would not let us in as chair people. And so despite that, we had some strong leaders that walked into the room when no one even looked like them. No one, they couldn't even associate with anyone, but they still, you know what, they raised their hand, they walked into the room, and they said, we do deserve a seat at the table. So thank you for those ladies. They started in the early 30s. At the same time Women's Council was initiated, 1938, a group of women got together and they started the Women's Council, and they had their committees and committees chairs, and soon enough NAR recognized us, and now many of us sit at chair positions with NAR. So thank you to those strong women that had the courage to stand up and say, we do deserve a position. If you want to get any more of the new stats, go to NAR Research and Stats, quick real estate stats, and you'll get to see all this information, which is just amazing when you actually see it in a format that you can look at in a snapshot. So we do have Claudia from California saying good morning. So good morning, Claudia. Thank you for joining us live Facebook today. So we are going to start with Emilie. And Emilie, I want you just to say your position, what network you're from, and anything else inspiring you have today.
Okay, I'm Emilie Williamson. I am currently the president of Women's Council of Realtors for Fort Worth Tarrant. I'm excited to be here. I was with Stacy last week, yes, and it was a lot of fun, and I'm really excited to have Mindy here with us today. So it's going to be awesome.
Okay, and we also have Mindy, and Mindy is your president-elect for Fort Tarrant. So Mindy, please come on and say hello to our audience.
Hey, I am so glad to be here. Thank you for inviting Emilie and I over. I look forward to be able to learn from you and to continue this journey here. Being the president-elect has just opened up so many opportunities for me, and has, I mean, opened up my eyes, really. And I am so grateful to be here. So thank you.
Oh, such an honor to have both of you on the show today. And I do want to say something that what has happened just from looking from afar, from my perspective, and I'm sure other people around the state of Texas and nationally, is I've had the honor of seeing your relationship between the two of you, and how you are so respectful and kind to each other, and you're lifting each other, and your support system. And I just want to shine a light on that, because this is how it truly should be done. You should be able to be passing that baton, and then the next leader steps back and lets the next leader rise, and you're there as a support system. And it's such a special relationship when you see it done right. And you ladies are just shining like no other. And so that's why I want to, put the spotlight on you today and talk about this relationship. So maybe we can start with Emilie. Emilie, just talk about how maybe you met Mindy and how this relationship started and cultivated.
Sure. So Mindy and I were both with JPAR when Mindy was already there. And when I became an agent, I joined JPAR, and we were with the same mentor under their mentorship program, but at different times. And Mindy is a whiz at anything technology or creativeness and marketing. So KV Core was the system that we were using then. And she would stay after mentorship meetings and teach me how to use KV Core to, market to my clients, future clients, past clients. So when this whole thing came about of Women's Council, I didn't even hesitate when Mindy and Kelly were like, what do you think? You want to do this? I mean, what could go wrong? She's my events director. Kelly is a huge staple in our community. Her and her husband own a roofing company. She just got her broker's license and opened her own office. And then there's Mindy. I mean, it was I don't want to say perfect storm, but it was a perfect combination of personalities, and community outreach that there was no way we weren't going to be successful. So I was all in, and here we are.
Oh,
mega network within less than a year.
And so how many members do you have?
We got 2 more the other day. So what are we at, Mindy?
88,
Okay.
working on some errors with national, but 88 on our side.
Perfect.
Woohoo! That's great. And what did you start with at the beginning of the year?
In January. Well, so we had a lot of members, including myself, that were members of Dallas. And so when we decided to come in, what we did is the agents that wanted to be a part of Fort Worth, we national act and state let them transfer to us. So I think we started out at 35 was what they wanted us at in order to kickstart. And then I'm not sure where we were at in January. Probably.
So we had 46 when we became an official network. And then we ended up having like 72 or 75 at the beginning of the year.
That's wonderful. And you're only 2 years into your network, correct?
5 months.
5 months. Okay.
We became official. We got our network, not certification, but what did she call it?
Gold stamp.
Yeah, we were chartered.
There you go. That's the word I was looking for.
In El Paso.
Yeah, when we were in El Paso, which I think was like October.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
We were at a state meeting when we got the email. So Claudia was super excited, and she announced that we were officially chartered. So we were the 22nd network in 2022 for the state of Texas.
Oh, I love that. I love that. I was sitting at the table next to you when you got the news. I remember. Okay, now circling back, Emilie, when you were talking about your relationship and how Mindy stayed after and was showing you technology, and it makes me think of John Maxwell. What does he say? He says, you must give a heart before you ask for a hand. And that's what Mindy was doing. So all of you network presidents, president-elects out there, that is just an example of extending and giving, a heart before you ask for help. And I love that. I love how you two are constantly giving back to both of you, each other, actually, and you're just helping each other for the betterment of your network and this beautiful relationship. So now let's hear from Mindy. Mindy, tell us about your perspective of meeting Emilie and how this relationship has gotten cultivated.
Yeah, absolutely. So when I first met Emilie, I was like, oh, she's somebody that needs to be in my circle. And she's going to be one of those little bubbles that I keep right there because I want to keep tabs on her because I want her to always be there near me. Because I think that there's always something that we can learn from each other. So I am by nature, I am a teacher, I'm a mentor, I am a giver. And so for me to step into this position, it was like natural for me because I knew that I was going to be able to pour my heart into all of our members. And I just knew that Emilie would have been a great part of this. And I was like, yep, we're tapping. I'm tapping. And I was like, I can't, Emilie, you got to run. You got to do this because we have such a very strong board that we knew that coming up with the Fort Worth Tarrant Network, we needed to have a strong foundation so that we could mentor and guide our members and have them become leaders in this industry. And so that was really important for me to tap Emilie.
I love that. I love that. I love that. So you're a giver, you're a teacher, and you're tapping Emilie, and you're both working together for the betterment of your board and eventually then your network as well.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
I love that. So Emilie, let's talk about your why. What is your Women's Council why?
well, originally it was just to get more in tune in the industry. When this came about, I was hardly into my second year of real estate. So I didn't know what I was doing. I didn't know I needed to be out at networking meetings. I didn't know that, I was going to my mentorship meetings but that was a very small group, within our brokerage. So Kelly, actually, again, our events director, has a Thursday morning breakfast, and my goodness, we take over a whole restaurant every Thursday morning. I mean, Mindy, there's probably 40 of us there.
Sometimes up to 60.
Yeah, I mean, it's huge. And so somebody had mentioned that she had those. So that's how I met Kelly officially, was going to her Thursday morning breakfast meetings. And that just launched my real estate career, meeting reputable local industry leaders, inspectors and mortgage lenders and, all of those things. And so, yeah, I mean, it really launched my career. But I think I want to go back real quick to what Mindy said about tapping me on the shoulder. In the back of my head, I thought, why is she tapping on my shoulder? I've only been in real estate for 5 minutes, so her seeing something in me that I didn't see, even though I've only been in real estate for, less than 2 years, she saw that doesn't matter. She can still be a great leader. So that really meant a lot to me. And that's why I was willing to take it on. Somebody else believed in me. Now I'm starting to see it and I'm seeing that I can do it, but in the beginning it was very like, really, why not Kelly or why not Mindy? Mindy walks in a room, everybody knows Mindy's there. People walk up to me, where's Mindy? And I'm like, hi, I'm Emilie. Which I love. I'm definitely not offended, but, so in the beginning, I kind of wondered, you said, why? Well, why me, but now my why is very obvious. I love being around other, I'm not just going to say women because we do have men. My broker joined our network and actually is the one that did our installation. But being around productive, positive, active agents and others in our industry can only make your business thrive. And so And then helping others help their business thrive. You know, why should you join us? Because our CE classes are going to teach you a lot and help you, you know, grow your business. And then Mindy just did a mindset class. It wasn't just about business. It's about bettering your mindset and making sure that when you wake up in the morning, you're ready to rock and roll, you're in a positive mindset, and that exudes even into your personal life. So it's not just about business. It's about just your whole life in general. So I love all of that. And I think that it's just a great environment. And I think that's my job as president, is to help facilitate that environment where we can be creative, we can share ideas, because it's not a competition. And Kelly says that too. It's a collaboration. Why would me and Mindy, it's not a competition with us. We can't be great if we're working against each other. We can only be great if we're working together. So I think that's why it works out so naturally between me and her, because we have the same end goal. And as long as we're on the same path together, it's just going to be greatness. So.
And I love that. It's not a competition, it's a collaboration. So all you leaders out there that are listening, please focus on collaboration, because you're helping the better good of your members and the communities that we serve. It says that in our mission statement. And so that's why this is so important, that you lift each other up, because it's for the betterment of your members, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah, I love that. I love that. So next question for you, Mindy. Are you ready? Who inspires you and who mentored you?
Oh my gosh. So that's a loaded question. Because I have several.
Sorry.
I have several people. Kelly Kellner is absolutely amazing. And she's another one that I have in my circle. I keep her in my bubble too. So I look at her as a great mentor. She helps guide me and leads me into the direction that I feel like I need to go. I also have a couple of coaches that I listen to with mindset. Jason Vincent is one of them that he came and spoke in El Paso. And ever since then, it was like, I cannot get enough of you. And I love listening to what he has to say in the mindset world. And I just take that on. Another person that I just absolutely love and adore is Kathy, our president-elect and state. And oh my God, she's absolutely amazing. And I could just sit here and just listen to her all day. Show me thy wisdom, because everything that she has to say. I called her the other day with some questions that I had a little bit of doubt in the back of my head. And I called her and I said, I need to ask you this because I need to process it so that I know how to find a solution to move forward. And she just validated everything that I already knew that I had in me, and just hung up the phone, and I kept trekking forward, and it was like I never skipped a beat. So and then my mommy. My mom and I have an amazing relationship, and my husband, he's my rock. So I've got several people in all aspects of my life, and my personal and my business, and that I keep very close to my heart.
Oh, I love that. Thanks for sharing. That's amazing. Good stuff. Jason was fantastic. I was there in El Paso. Yeah. What a story. What he's been through, right?
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah. No, I really enjoyed getting, and then of course we love Kathy. She is amazing. And I love that, you just needed her to pull some information out so you could process it and get it aligned to where you needed to utilize it. So I love that, how she helped facilitate that, right? Absolutely. Yes. Oh, we got Jason on our chat over here, ladies. Do you see that? Woohoo! Thanks for joining us, Jason. Okay, so Mindy, or excuse me, Emily, who inspires you and who has mentored you?
Oh, goodness. In a leadership role, I'll tell you a little story real quick about when I was in the Army. My captain, who was my boss, was prior enlisted. And if anybody knows anything about the military, the enlisted people are the grunt workers, right? We're the ones that put up the tents. We're the ones that, all that kind of stuff. So as a captain and as a pilot, that was not his responsibility, right? You didn't see captains out the wash rack helping us wash our Humvees. It just wasn't a thing. But my captain did. He would drive his Corvette over to the wash racks and help us wash our Humvee because I was his driver. And all of my peers were jealous. Well, why is my captain not here? Because my captain had been a grunt at one time, and he understood that I'm not going to ask you to do anything that I wouldn't do. And that wasn't the mentality of a lot of the leaders in my command. So that really inspired me to have that mentality of, I'm not going to call Mindy and say, hey, you need to do this because you're president-elect. You know, like that's not the mentality of a leader. A leader says, hey, we need this task done. Do you need help? I'll do this part, you do that part, you know, whatever it takes to get the task completed. And so I think that that's because there's a boss and there's a leader, right? We've all seen the meme, the boss is, you know, pointing the finger, the leader leads and helps. And, you know, so I think that was probably a waking moment for me in like, oh, well, if I'm going to be a leader, this is how I would do it, you know, how I want to be leaded. So I, you know, in real estate, I would probably say my husband was a big one. I don't know if I've ever told you how we got into real estate, but my husband and I both lost our jobs in 2020 within 90 days of each other. And we both worked for the railroad. And so he dove right in, got his license within 30 days and hit the ground running. He probably actually met Mindy first at the mentorship program because I didn't come in until a couple months later. But seeing his drive and his, like, we do it or we drown. There was no like, oh, I think I'll dabble in real estate. It was the livelihood of our family, you know.
Right.
It was a chance. It was a great risk, but it came with great reward if we, you know, were successful. So I really admire his tenacity and just overcoming, you know, major hurdles like that. So I'd say those two are big ones.
That's amazing. And I love what you said about leaders. We analyze a situation, we see where help is needed, and we jump in. And that is so important. So members out there that you're looking at your networks and you're analyzing where you need to take your network to the next level, see where they need help. And that's where you start, right? Where they need help. Now, Emily, that I have you on the phone, we are all three wearing a special t-shirt. So I want you to talk about the t-shirt, the program, and the fundraiser and the charity that you are all behind this year.
Okay. So last year, Mindy and I went to a CE class, which is called the American Warrior Real Estate Professional. It's not a designation. It's just a class to teach civilians how to communicate and understand veterans. Mindy's husband was in the Navy. My husband's retired Navy. They're both named Christopher. We have a lot in common.
Did not know that.
So anyways, at this class, they taught us again how to relate to veterans. It was an incredible class. Being a veteran and having been the spouse of a veteran, the information that they gave was just incredible. It was put on by the American Warrior Initiative. And the money that they make from that and the money that they make from selling these red shirts. So this is the 2023 design, Red Friday, and it has the dog on there. Sorry, my camera's kind of going in and out, but we wear red on Fridays for Remember Everyone Deployed. And so what they do with the funds for that is they give a service dog to a disabled veteran. So when we were coming into 2023, I really wanted to think of something community-wide that we could do as a network just to give back. And I kind of wanted to focus on something veteran related. And so I called the CEO of American Warrior Initiative. We had a Zoom, and we are currently raising funds to give a service dog to a veteran on November 3rd. Every t-shirt sold goes 100% towards the purchase of that dog. They're $22 because 22 veterans take their lives every day. So it's just something that everybody's been super supportive. Gosh, we sold, I don't even know how many t-shirts we sold when we were in Austin with Women's Council. I mean, every network was buying shirts. I had to keep going out to my car and refilling my bags. And so it's just something great. Who doesn't love a veteran and a puppy dog? I mean, right? So yeah, so we'll have a big dinner in November 3rd. The CEO of American Warrior Initiative will come to our dinner, speak. I'll speak, and then we'll actually present the dog to the veteran there. I think it's just going to be an amazing event, and we might need a tissue sponsor. I'm not sure.
I think that's
Probably not.
They brought a Labrador out at that class, and my Zeus is a Labrador, and I was like, I can't handle it.
Oh,
So yeah, it's called Mission Aries. Aries is the Greek god of war, so that's what we've decided to name our dog. And you could go to Mission Aries, Mission Aries .givesmart.com. You can buy t-shirts. They come from me. So when you purchase it, I could ship it to you. Our dinner tickets are on there. You can just donate. If you wanted to donate $50, there's a donate button. We also have a silent auction. We have a signed picture of Dak Prescott, like a framed picture. We've got, if you're local in DFW, photographer has donated an MLS photography package, all kinds of stuff. So just a great cause.
oh my gosh, it's more than a great cause. It's a wonderful cause. I have to say, I just was down at President Circle in Cancun, and the best speaker by far, in my opinion, was Kyle Carpenter, and our national president for NAR, Kenny Purcell, interviewed him. And his story is so moving, and he's so grateful, even though, he's endured over 30 surgeries, in his recovery. He's grateful for the opportunity to still do what he did. He threw his body on a hand grenade to save his teammates, and it was so amazing. And so I encourage anyone to get his book and read it. I just bought it, and I'm going to start and read that book, because he was so inspiring and so grateful. What a grateful heart. And he spent
What's that book called?
Let me look it up. It's on, I bought it in Audible here.
Because I'm wondering if he's the one that was at the AWI. Is he was a captain, I think.
Are You Worth It is his name, is the name of the book. Are You Worth It?
Okay, I'll have to look that one up.
Yeah.
Worth it.
Building a Life Worth Fighting For, Kyle Carpenter.
And
he has, he received the Medal of Honor.
Very
which
nice.
is a big deal. I mean, he even talked about that. That's a whole process of being interviewed, by generals and going through every single step to make sure that they have all the data. So, wow, that was amazing. And thank you, Mindy, for throwing that in the chat. So Mindy just put in there where you can go to get the t-shirts, get more information, probably get tickets for their event on November 3rd. So please, if you are in the area, or if you're able to fly in, please join Mindy and Emilie, because this is such a great cause. And how old does a dog have to be when they are actually handed over to for a service person?
Mindy probably actually knows more about this. She raised funds to get her daughter a service dog. So I'll let Mindy answer that.
Okay.
So every organization has a little bit of different conditions that they're looking for. Some don't do it until they're 2 years of age. Some start out at the very beginning of the puppy stages. And then as soon as they're fully trained, which is about a year, is when about 9 months to a year is when they'll pass them off. And they'll continue to have trainings throughout the dog's life just to continue so that they continue their work.
Okay. Okay. Well, that's awesome. That's wonderful. And what an unconditional loving gift to give somebody. So that's awesome. I love that. Okay, so let's get back to you two, the special relationship that you both have. And so what I'm hearing is that you're servant leaders, that you're looking at the picture as president and president-elect and just seeing what needs to be done and just helping each other. Is there any other secret sauce that you can share with all the presidents and president-elects around the country? We have over 250 local networks in our organization. Can you think of anything else that would help facilitate and really cultivate this kind of a relationship that you two have?
You want to go first?
Sure. So, Emilie and I, we have our own differences. We have our own ways of thoughts, processes. And what's important to me is being able to amicably move forward. So if we do have different ends of the thoughts or something, we figure it out together and we look at the big picture. And I'm one of those that I could say I'm the devil's advocate. I'm like, okay, but what if we did this instead? How would this affect this? And just kind of work out the systems so that the end result is for the better. The other thing is kindness is free, and it is so important for me. I will be at a restaurant or out and about and I'll see somebody and I'm like, I've just got to go over there and tell them I like them. Well, I don't know what it is about you, but I just like you. And for me, that's so important to lift others up. And so my hashtag is actually lift when you lead. And that's so important because as Emilie said earlier, we're not bosses. We are leaders and we are here to encourage. We are here to lift and help each other out. And, it's like, what can I do to help? Send me the way, let me see what I can do to help. And so for us, it's just about working together and communicating and, just moving forward with it. Mm-hmm.
I think for me, communication, she just said it 100%. And what I really appreciate about Mindy, and I don't think I've actually ever told her this, is
wait, do I need to get a Kleenex?
No, it's not like that.
Kleenex time.
You cried before we got started. We're good. No, I think the thing that I appreciate about Mindy the most is even if she knows what I'm going to say, she did it last night. She called me and said, hey, this is a situation. I probably already know what you're going to say, but this is what we're thinking about doing, da, 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 da. And so she involves me in everything, even decisions that I don't even need to make, but having her there to just make sure that I'm in the loop and everybody's in the loop. The other thing about Mindy is our personalities can be a little different. I seem to be more like, I just make a decision, where Mindy is very methodical, and that helps me make better decisions because like she said, she's like, okay, well, I agree, but let's make sure that we look at both sides so that we can make sure we're making an educated decision. And it's changed a couple of decisions that I've made. I'm like, oh crap, I didn't think about that, And so I appreciate having that there because it's kind of like the voice of reason. Mindy's like, well, hold on, let's think about this. Okay, I might make you cry. Hold on. My friend that we had talked about last week, my friend Laura, passed away 2 years ago this week. She was the only person I thought that I could call in the middle of the night. And I remember the night before my installation, I was trying to edit a podium manual in PDF, and I could not do it. and I had an early morning the next morning, and I had been working on this thing for hours. It just wasn't working. And I called Mindy. It was the middle of the night, and I was just bawling. And I was like, I can't get this to work. That if we don't have a podium manual, what are we going to do? Like, you have to have that. And she said, hold on. Well, here's what we're going to do. Email me what you have. And then what I'm going to have you do is read it to me, what you want it to say, and I will type the whole thing out. And we spent like the next 2 hours on the phone, and I read what I wanted it to say, and Mindy got on Word and typed the whole thing out. And having from, which I knew before, but that day just solidified for me, like, this is who I need in order to be successful. I need this kind of support, and know that if I'm panicking, it's fine. We're going to figure it out. And we've had many situations like that, you know, oh crap, the person that was supposed to install us is caught in a flood. What are we going to do? You know, just say, it's okay. It's fine. We already have it figured out. It's okay. You know, and so that panic doesn't flush over me anymore. I just call Mindy. It'll be okay. So, now I won't be her president-elect next year, but being a past president, I hope that I can help guide her through some of the things that she doesn't see that I see on the president side. And I've tried already, like, hey, just letting you know, these are some of the things that you're not seeing yet, but prepare yourself. And so, yeah, I'm looking forward to stepping into that role for her and being the support for her that she's going to need next year.
I love that. I love that, you know, that she's that person for you, and that you found that person. And how special is it that you get to share this in this Women's Council arena as president and president-elect. So that is so special. And thanks, Mindy, for doing that for Emilie, and Emilie for, you know, being so gracious back to Mindy, because that's what, from afar, I see this special relationship and how you two interact. I watch both of you at the Texas meetings, and I can see it, and it shines through and through. And I know that there are hiccups and there are bumps, but above all, what I'm hearing from both of you is that at the end of the day, you make the statement, is it in the best interest of our network? And it's not about you. And I think that's why this works, and that's why this relationship is so special. So for all the leaders that are out there that are listening, it's about the network. It's not about us. Just like leadership truly is about our members and about others. It's not about us, right? And so I think that's why this works so well for both of you. So thank you for being shining examples and just giving each other grace. I see a lot of grace going there. And then Mindy, I had to make a note, because when I believe it was Collin County, when I visited them, their network president last year, her hashtag is kindness is gangster. Do you know who I'm talking about? You know,
I love that. That's awesome.
I love that.
She had it on a vase, and I said, you need to make t-shirts that say this. This is so awesome. Kindness is gangster. So I love that. I had to make a note of that. So that's fantastic. So now let's talk about this. Let's just switch gears just for a second, because they say, and I got this from Chris Lee, then they did a survey for our members. They said the number one reason why people first join Women's Council is for referrals. So let's talk about referrals. How are you doing with referrals? What is your last experience with a referral? And tie it into the Radius, app that we all use. So if you want to go first, Mindy.
Yeah, so I actually had another network reach out to me and said, hey, I got somebody moving to Fort Worth. Can you assist? I'm like, absolutely. So it does work. Now, that was actually not my number one reason to join this network. It was to encourage others and to lift others and to be around the same mindset. But the referrals are great. I'm not going to complain. So yeah, having that network and being able to go out and expand yourself. One of the things that I do is every time I go out to one of our meetings, I bring hand warmers, because we all know that it is cold in those conference rooms.
She took hers to Mexico this week.
I did. I'm gonna find it's in my bag. I'm looking for it right
You're
now.
looking for it right
Yeah,
now. That's
looking for
hilarious.
it.
Yeah, so I have hand warmers and I pass them out and it's got all of my information, my QR code. It's like, let me give you a hand in the Dallas Fort Worth surrounding areas, and that's been a huge hit. And so people remember that, and of course they remember me in general. My red hair. But it's, I love to be able to network and to meet others throughout the United States for sure.
Well, that is a great referral system that, that hand warmer. I took it to Mexico with me. I had it on the plane because I always get cold on the planes too. So I love that. And I love that you're lifting others in your leadership journey. So that's great. And I love that you are utilizing referrals. So let's give it to Emilie now. Let's talk about your referrals within the council.
So like Stacey said, it's really important to make sure that you're claiming your profile. I think that's something that a lot of new members don't know that they need to do. In doing so, you can add your picture, what you specialize in, any designations you have, all that kind of stuff. So making sure that your profile is set up and it's set up properly is going to be key to getting leads. And for me, the most recent one I got was from a women's council member in Orlando. Her son and daughter-in-law were moving here. And she just called me out of the blue. Hey, my son's moving here. I found you on WCR.org. And so, and because my profile is completely set up. So yeah, make sure that you're going in there, claiming it. If you have any questions, anybody on your leadership board should be able to guide you and point you in the right direction and getting that set up. So really important.
Absolutely. Thank you.
And for presidents, we should be having new membership orientation. And that's something that we should be talking about. Hey, guys, make sure you're setting up this profile. This is one of the perks of being in Women's Council is referrals, but that's not going to happen if your phone number is not there, if your email is not there. So first, our orientation for new members is really important. We just implicated our new pins and our certificates for our members too. So we're still learning as a new network what it takes to make sure that our members are recognized and all that good stuff. But I think that we're off to a great start.
That's awesome. And to Emilie's point about Radius and claiming, your profile and then putting all your information in there, it has a scroll bar that really mirrors what Facebook is. You can make posts for your open houses, for your buyer seller needs, for an inspiration or anything that's going on in your market, some stats or maybe events or anything like that. So be active on it, get on there and you'll meet people, and CRS is on there. I think ARIA is on there. So it's not just Women's Council. You're going to be reaching out to bigger spheres of influence and really getting your message out there. So please definitely do that. I do want to share some stats real quick because I just love this. 60% of all personal wealth in the US is held by women. 85% of all consumer purchases in the US are made by women. And women over the age of 50 have a combined net worth of $19 trillion. Wow. There is a lot of good stats here for women, and we are in the Women's Council of Realtors, but we do embrace men. We ask men, are you man enough to join us? And we love that they do join us because really the smart men really join us, right?
There's your tagline, Mindy. Are you man enough to join us?
Oh, my wheels are already turning. I'm already creating a flyer for it. It's going to go on social media. It's there. I got it.
Mindy, really, we had this conversation the other day. She's really hoping and already has men coming on to like committees and hoping to get some in board positions to show other men in our community that we welcome them. The title can be a little misconstrued. But my broker, my teammate is a male. We have plenty. So
yep. We wrap our arms around our community and we help anyone that wants to be in Women's Council and sharpen their skills in leadership and we're here to help. And that's what's so great about the Women's Council is that we just, we do wrap our arms around our community and embrace it. So we couldn't be happier to do that. And I love how Mindy is already over there. The wheels are turning and she's creating stuff as we're talking. This is great.
We have a male president in Texas also. Robbie in McAllen is.
I know Robbie very well. He's
Yeah,
awesome.
He's the male and he's the president of a local,
Yeah.
of a local network. So
Yeah, I think this is his second year, right? Year 2?
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah. So he stayed on for a second year, and he's very well liked down there, and I think he's rocking and rolling. So that's awesome. I love how they had in October at the meetings. Do you remember how they all wore like the same colors, or they had pom poms or something they were shaking because they won something? I thought that was so cool. They always have something going on, right? Okay, so let's, we went over a little longer today, but I think this, shining a light on this relationship of the president and president-elect and passing the baton and doing it so gracefully as you two have done and are showing us in the state of Texas. I want you to think of maybe just a few statements that you can leave our audience with, and just let us know maybe another little tidbit, for those president-elects out there and presidents. So do you want to go first, Emilie, this time?
Sure. My advice to presidents is you need to trust your president-elect. You need to be able to build that trust. And I know when I call Mindy, hey, she already has the answer. She probably already knows what I'm going to ask. And she's kind of my work wife because we complete each other's sentences, and me and my husband complete each other's sentences. So trust is a big key. Communication. Your president-elect is not a mind reader. You need to communicate what you expect as a leader. That was something that I did right off the bat with all of my board was, let's go over your roles and responsibilities. And if you have any questions or, not understanding something, let's go over that so we can make sure we're on the same page. So communication is key, trust, and you can't go wrong with those two things. So.
I love that. Okay, Mindy, it's all you.
So my advice is get out of your comfort zone, because there are too many times in our life where we're stagnant and just following day by day. And if you don't get out of your comfort zone, you'll always be in the same place. Mm-hmm. And so for me, it is do something that you wouldn't think that you would have done otherwise, because why not? Don't ask why. Tell yourself, why not? Because in the end result, when you get over that hump and you do something that you haven't done before, the reward is massive. And I'm getting chills just talking about it, because I just did my first public speaking event, and I had a major fear of speaking. And I got up there and I was not scared one bit. I did it, and I had 100 people there supporting me and lifting me up. And get out of your comfort zone. Do something that you wouldn't normally do so that you can better yourself for tomorrow.
Okay, now I'm crying. I was so proud of you, Mindy, when you did that. You did so amazing. And I am so proud of you for getting up there and doing that. I know it was a huge fear, but you absolutely rocked it.
Thank you. I enjoyed it so much that I'm like, when's my next event?
She's going on the speaking circuit now, folks. Here we go.
How big is it going to be? I mean, don't put a ceiling. Don't limit yourself. There's endless possibilities out there. Do it. Go after it.
Okay, so what I'm hearing is trust, communication, get out of your comfort zone, and just do it.
Yes.
Nope, I think that sums it up.
Okay, folks, we know what the orders are now. Let's do it. Okay, tell me about this speaking engagement. Tell me about, you know, I don't know, Emily, you want to tell me about it? Because you can see it from what Mindy can't see because she was on the stage.
Mindy gets, I think she calls it microphone phobia.
Microphone amnesia.
Yeah, she just gets up there and just freezes. And I don't understand what, like, Mindy has, she's beautiful, she's smart, she's well-spoken, she's all the things that, you know. And so when she was like, I'm just really scared of, she brought it up when the presidents had to stand up in front of all the other presidents and give a speech. And she's like, oh my gosh, we're going to have to do that. Like, this is a thing. And then President Claudia had me get up and give the inspiration at her installation. And so I think that kind of kick-started the gears for Mindy, like, okay, I better just do it and get out here and figure it out, because my time's going to come and I'm gonna have to get up in front of people. But so Mindy didn't get a microphone. She got like the little headset, so she didn't have to be shaken with a microphone in her hand. And I had gone outside real quick to grab a sheet from the people that were signing people in to see who we were giving certificates to. And I heard dead silence and I panicked and I was like, oh my gosh, Mindy, just stop talking. What she was doing is she had the audience take a quiz on mindset and stuff. And so it was quiet because they were filling out those questions. But I came back in and she got a standing ovation. I mean, her mom was front and center. Her dad was it was incredible. And I had to go back up to the microphone and had a knot in my throat. And, you know, after seeing everybody standing up and cheering for her and everything. So it was amazing. I can't wait for the next one.
Oh, that's so beautiful. And that your mom and dad were there, Mindy. That is so awesome. And that's funny, Emily, that you thought like she left the building because it was silent.
I was like, either a microphone quit or Mindy's on the floor. What's happening?
And neither of those
It wasn't either one.
I gotta get back in there. Okay, so Mindy, tell us your perspective.
So for me, when I went to National and I was in Florida and we had our breakout sessions, Kathy Heshmet did her session on mindset. And it resonated with me wholeheartedly. And I knew that moment I had a calling. And here comes those chills again. Woo! I knew that I needed to bring this home to my network. I needed to share this. I could not contain it. I couldn't hold it in. I had to share it. And so for me, I took that on as a goal. And, you know, this is what makes my board so amazing. So for everybody out there that's listening right now, my board heard my calling. I came back and at my board meeting, I had mentioned this class and I had said how it resonated with me and how I would like to have a goal in place where I could public speak. That was in November? That was in November. At the end of December, I get a phone call from one of my board members that says, hey, you remember that goal you had? Well, we have an event and we would love for you to speak at. And I went, my armpits are sweating. What? Sure. Okay. Let's do it. And I knew that if I could help one person, then it would make a world of difference. If I could get in front of somebody and face my fears and overcome my comfort zone, then you too can do that. And the information that I was teaching was discussing whether you're in a fixed mindset or if you're in a growth mindset, and acknowledging when we are in a fixed mindset so that we can overcome that, so that we can grow. And I'm still in shock. I'm still in awe. I use this on a daily basis for myself. And I learn every single day because of this little class that I took in Florida. And the amount of people that have reached out to me afterwards that said, oh my gosh, Mindy, I caught myself doing X, Y, and Z. And I thought, no, what would Mindy do? And I went, what? That's crazy. Like that didn't even make sense to me, but I'm glad you're thinking of the class. I love that you thought of the presentation. And it makes me happy to know that people listened to it and it resonated with them as well. And I just am hoping that I can continue to encourage others to do the exact same thing.
That's awesome. That's so beautiful, because that is what leadership is all about, getting out of our comfort zones and providing love and really just being vulnerable, right? And I love that. I love that that this happened, and that your board supported you. One, because you raised your hand and they answered the call, didn't they? They said, yes, we hear you. And they saw that tap on the shoulder. So I love that. So ladies, you know what? It's just been an awesome pleasure getting to take a deeper dive into this relationship and how you have built trust and you support each other, you lift each other as you're climbing, and you're doing it not for yourselves, but for your network and for your members. And that's what it's all about. And that's what true leadership is. So thank you for being shining examples of what passing the baton should be. Thank you so much for being on.
Oh, it's a pleasure. And thank you for supporting us as well. I love the opportunity and I'm excited to be here for sure. Yay.
Yay. And I just want to open this up. I think you guys will be fine to this. If there's any network presidents that are out there and they have any questions that they want to call you or contact you, you would be available to them. Is that okay?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay. Okay. So leaders, you feel free to contact them, look them up in Radius, and slide them a DM or email them, or just pick up the phone and call them, because they're there to help. And thank you all for everything that you do for the council. You two are just awesome. And keep on breaking out of your comfort zones, because I know that you both have so much more to give. So thank you for being on the show today, and have a wonderful day.
Thanks, Stacey. See you in May.
Okay, see you in May. Bye-bye.
See ya.